Valley News Live at 10.
Good evening and happy Friday, everyone, and an especially happy Friday for Bison fans.
Exactly. Playoff football in the Fargo Dome. Stacey, we just went final a few minutes ago. North Dakota State going back to Frisco. The final play of the game just happened. North Dakota State hanging on for an absolutely tough 35-32 victory there over Incarnate Word. Incarnate Word jumped out to a 16-0 lead in this game. North Dakota State rallied back, obviously pretty strongly, winning 35-32. It came down to the last play, too. We have highlights coming up later on tonight that you don't want to miss. So we'll have more from this game a little bit later.
So exciting. Thanks so much, Devin. Now, although Frisco may be a lot further than the Fargo Dome, it might be easier to get to. The weather made getting to tonight's game difficult for many fans. Some weren't able to make it, but as Valley News Team's Courtney Lockie tells us, they didn't let their tickets go to waste.
Bison fans filling the Fargo Dome on game day. Nothing new here, especially with the trip to Frisco on the line. But for a select few,
the crowd's enthusiasm, the noise.
Getting to see the green and gold hit the gridiron in person means a little more.
It's just a flavor that you can't get sitting at home, although on a day like this.
Bob Shirley is a World War II veteran. He was drafted into the Navy right out of high school in 1945. He's one of many veterans who got to cheer on the team in person Friday night.
I have been to probably more Bison games than I deserve.
He and his fellow veterans attribute that to a woman they call the Sign Lady.
There are many times that we, as season ticket holders, we can't use all of our tickets. Maybe we're busy harvesting, maybe we're deer hunting, whatever.
Since 2018, Alana Christensen has been putting Bison football tickets into the hands of veterans. For the winner go home game, she was able to round up 128 tickets.
I think all of Bison Nation really respects and honors our area veterans. I don't think that we can do enough for them.
Looking out onto the field, those like Shirley say the feeling is mutual.
I can't say enough about this lady for what she's done for the veterans.
In Fargo, Courtney Locke.
We are the pride of North Dakota.
Valley News Live.
Just such an amazing story, and like Devin said, we'll bring you all the highlights from the game coming up in sports. But first, turning to the forecast, let's check in with First Alert Storm Team Chief Meteorologist Hutch Johnson. Hutch.
Stacey, thanks so much. Good Friday evening, everyone. And what a wild week of weather we've had, and our storm is finally ending. The First Alert Weather Day does continue tonight as we continue to have winter weather conditions and dangerous travel. Then we get a little break through the weekend, but next week we're going to get a slap from our friends from the Arctic, and Arctic air mass arrives as we go into the midweek in particular. Dangerous cold, wind chills approaching 50 below. So we'll keep you posted on that. Let's get through this round, shall we? Passing showers of snow northwest Minnesota from Ada going all the way up toward Thief River Falls, and well, Hendrum all the way down into parts of Wilkin County here. We're seeing those snow showers, and those extend into the Highway 200 corridor where you see the dark blue ones. You're going to have reduced visibility in these areas. The wind continues to churn at 30 to 40 miles per hour. Fingal, 30 inches. The big winner. We did get an unconfirmed report on Facebook from a message of 32 in Valley City. 28.4 Lisbon, a lot of snow in Sibley and Jamestown at 20 inches of snow. 18 in the Grand Forks area or so, give or take, because, wow, 11.6 on the low side in South Fargo, but the storm total in Moorhead upwards of 15.3 inches. And we have snowfall amounts ranging from 11 to a foot. 11 inches to a foot in the Fergus Falls area down towards Cooperstown, Breckenridge picking up a lot of snow. It was a little lower with the snow totals in northwest Minnesota as forecast. Now look at a few of the photos that you've shared. It's just spectacular. Kids out having fun in the snow. I'll have hour-by-hour details. Your road conditions are still pretty nasty. No travel advisories across North Dakota. Your forecast coming up in a moment.
All right, thanks so much, Hutch. Well, Bismarck has them, Jamestown, Minot, and Sioux Falls, too. All four cities equipped with snow gates on the city plows. It's a gadget several say is long overdue here in the metro. However, city officials say snow gates aren't as great as they seem, and they're an unlikely addition to cleanup efforts.
We get the entire city done in about 12 hours now. You put snow gates on them, we'd be probably 24 to 36 hours just to get the whole city done once.
City officials say the gates can't handle wet snow or more than 4 inches, meaning the gates wouldn't have been able to be used in this week's storm and would end up costing taxpayers more than $1 million, as the city would also need to double its staff and number of plow trucks. Now to a Valley News Live investigation. We're learning new details tonight about what led to a West Fargo principal being released from his contract. Jeffrey Johnson has been with Freedom Elementary since the school opened 10 years ago. On October 17th, families were notified that Johnson would be out for an undetermined amount of time. It's noted in the investigation report that Johnson wanted the messaging to be that he was out for physical and mental health reasons. He was actually placed on paid administrative leave earlier that day. Among other themes related to bullying, it's noted in the investigation that Jeffrey Johnson was more physical than necessary or allowable with learners. It's alleged that he pulled a student by the arm and grabbed a student off a table. The word manhandling was used in several interviews.
So we'll be sleeping here Friday and Saturday night in Broadway Square.
You heard that right. U.S. Air Force vet Mark Lindquist announced his latest mission to help raise awareness on opportunities to help Ukrainians, Operation Sleep Out. That's what he's calling it. It's a 17-day challenge to camp out in Fargo in a tent and a sleeping bag to bring awareness of the many ways Americans can help Ukrainians this winter. For more information, you can visit our website, valleynewslive.com. Just click on this story. New tonight, Fargo City Commission met today to approve one of the 4 candidates as city administrator. They voted unanimously for Mike Redlinger after concerns were made about 2 of the candidates dropping out just last night. Mayor Tim Mahoney said he's deeply disappointed by candidates Kenneth Haskin and Pat Oman's withdrawals and says the open meeting laws need to be examined. Mahoney decided the city could not afford to delay the decision, so they moved forward with this one. A gold coin was put up for auction today, and it sold for the largest amount in 15 years. The auction was hosted by the Coffee Club with Janae and Ronnie. They say it doesn't happen often that you see radio hosts this speechless. The coin has a $2,000 value. It sold today for $40,000. All proceeds go to the Ronald McDonald House. It was all thanks to Fargo Parts and Equipment, who made that donation.
This must be amazing because Ronnie is speechless right now. What?
No, I'm going to cry.
Did you just say the number I think you did?
Yeah, I did. We're at $40,000 right now.
You've got to be kidding me.
How cool is that? Well, for about 20 years, Marilyn Bacon has been making decorative candy for his neighbors. At least that's how it started. Now, the Christmas decorations have spread beyond the city. John Lauritsen shows us how Marilyn continues to do what he loves while battling a life-changing disease.
Every December, Lincoln Avenue in Hutchinson transforms into Candy Cane Lane. Look around and you'll see why. And it's all because of one man.
Everybody knows Marlon in Menards.
20 years ago, Marlon Bacon began making giant candy canes using tape, lights, and a lot of PVC pipe.
This is an 11-foot. We have 8-foot and 5.5-foot.
It was a way to meet his neighbors and a way to pay it forward. Marlon and his wife Lori don't make any money doing this. They only charge for the cost of materials. When word got out, it became more than just a neighborhood project. Are you surprised this took off the way it did?
I think we both were.
Over the years, Marlon has made over 2,500 candy canes, and they've spread like Christmas cheer. They can now be found in 18 different states. Closer to home, you'll find them in towns like Silver Lake, Glencoe, and of course Hutchinson, just to name a few. But this year it's become more challenging for Marlon. Parkinson's disease has affected his hands and his voice.
I'm getting frustrated with 2 different things. I can't do them at the same time.
So he works with more breaks.
Keeps us busy.
Not wanting to disappoint his neighbors.
They just do. They love them.
I love Christmas.
That includes the Whiteley kids next door. You have 4 candy canes for each of you, right?
And there's 2 over there.
So they're all over the place.
Yeah.
Parkinson's or not, this is what Marlon loves. He's giving the gift of Christmas, one giant candy cane at a time. Marlon, as long as you can do this, you'll continue to do this, right?
That's the plan.
John Lauritsen, CBS News, Hutchinson, Minnesota.
And coming